Hello, and welcome to Glasshouse Films. I'm your ever lovable host, Carson, and joining me once again is my best mate, Adam.
Heidi ho.
Wow, I really hope that's not your catchphrase. Anyway, so, you know what movie I've been thinking about recently?
Gravity.
Yes, but you know what other movie I've been thinking about recently?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Not a mind reader.
I've been thinking about RoboCop.
Good 80s film.
I love that movie. I mean, Paul Verhoeven crafted an amazing sci-fi epic with his original RoboCop. You know, taking place in a decrepit Detroit filled with crime and drugs and corruption. It was great. It was a violent masterpiece, and it's great for two reasons. First, it's a really kick-ass action film. It is like, it's visceral, it's gritty, it's just awesome. It is so much fun from that level. When I was like 8 and saw the movie for the first time, loved it for that reason. Have you seen
I have
RoboCop?
seen it once, like 10 years ago.
Oh, I need to make you watch it again. And then the other reason why it's great, and this is the reason why to this day I've still enjoyed the film, is that it has great satire. Like, it is hilarious how poignant and prescient the satire is of that time. Like, everything they're making fun of is spot on. The commercials, everything. It really resonates. And beyond that, the fact that the movie is about Jesus is also pretty awesome in and of itself.
What?
Watch the movie again. It's about Jesus. If you can remember, there's that scene where he's walking in the water to kill Clarence Bodiger, but the way it's shot, it looks like he's actually walking on water.
Like in the very end?
Like at the very end, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not going to worry about spoilers for a movie that came out 30 years ago.
If you haven't seen it.
It's older than we are. Anyway, so, yeah, I've been thinking about this movie, and then it occurred to me. It was remade recently, wasn't it?
Reboot.
No. Shut up. There was no RoboCop sequels. I don't care. It was remade recently.
You know what we should do?
Well, we should definitely give some background on the remake.
No, let's just go see it.
Okay. Let's go see it.
Generation of evil.
This is the country's most violent city.
Is to build the next generation of hero.
RoboCop is here.
He's coming.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
RoboCop, rated PG-13, in IMAX, February 12th.
So, we just got out of RoboCop. So what did you think of RoboCop?
I thought it was really bad. Really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So many things. Just for one example, might be a little spoilerish.
No, let's. Just because we don't like a movie doesn't mean we can spoil it. Just try and talk in very, very general statements.
He gets shot. Okay.
Okay.
By small arms fire. His armor on his chest and everything is all.
Yeah,
totally gonna deflect all of the small arms fire, right?
Yeah, what was up with that? Because nobody had any 50 cal rounds.
Yeah, but
they specifically say in the movie very early on when he's first put as RoboCop that he can take any small arms fire, anything under 45 caliber rounds.
No, he could take 45 caliber.
Oh, that's rounds. Right. It was 50 caliber rounds.
They didn't say anything about 50 cal.
Okay, so anything 45 and below, he can take pretty well. 45, easily. He starts getting damaged a little bit, but anything below that, dings right off.
Yeah, except when used...
Except when the plot needs it too.
the small arms fire is destroying his armor all over the place.
Yeah.
But the gigantic guns that shoot at him don't faze him. They were shooting him in the back for like a solid 30 seconds. Didn't do anything.
So, for those of you that don't know, this RoboCop that we just got out of is, it's a remake of the 1980 whatever, the 80s RoboCop directed by Paul Verhoeven. Basically, the story is Detective Alex Murphy, who works for the Detroit Police Department. He is nearly killed, and the only way to save him is to put him into this RoboCop structure, basically.
Or so they would have us believe.
Yeah, well, it really is the only way that he could continue living.
They said he had a chance otherwise, but
he was what? Nothing? So, okay, real quick, something that's hilarious. So the way he's injured isn't that he's, like, shot to death or anything, kind of like in the original. It's that his car explodes, and you see that in the trailers. And they specifically say over 80% of his body had 4th degree burns on it.
Yep.
You know what's the most amazing part of that? No part of his face got affected. None of it. His entire beautiful mug was fine.
Even though they said one of his eyes was damaged.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
His ear was completely damaged.
So, anyway, this corporation called OCP are looking to break into the American market as far as securities with police forces, mostly. And they see Alex Murphy as their way to basically test drive it and to try and sway public opinion. Now, it goes into a lot more political crap than that, but we'll keep this brief. So that's the basic story of RoboCop. On its own, not comparing it to the Paul Verhoeven film, it is a barely serviceable action movie. It barely works as an action movie.
Only the last 15 minutes.
That's my point.
Packed.
Barely any of it has any action in it.
Yeah.
The last 15 minutes.
Yeah, most of it's
But even the
drama.
last 15 minutes was broken up considerably. Yeah. It barely works as an action film. As an action sci-fi film, it doesn't work. As a film in general, it holds together. It's okay. But honestly, I was checking my watch throughout a lot of this film. It was boring. It was way too long.
Yeah.
And, okay, so the performances in the movie were, across the board, just kind of meh. Gary Oldman turned in a really great performance, as far as I'm concerned. It was very workmanlike, but it was good. The Doctor. Michael Keaton, who's had a weird career resurgence. He's always fun to watch on screen, but they didn't give him a lot to do. Then you got Samuel L. Jackson, who's yelling like Samuel Jackson. As far as I'm concerned, he did the best Glenn Beck impression I've ever seen. It was pretty spectacular. Alex Murphy's family were just kind of boring. The movie didn't even need to have his family in there. It dragged a lot of this movie down.
The original didn't have his family in there at all.
We'll get to that. And then Alex Murphy himself was such a milquetoast character. Like, I didn't care at all about anything he said, anything he did. It was really, he was boring as a protagonist.
Spent 2 hours learning about this character, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah. What do we even know about him? His son likes the Detroit Red Wings, and he and his son watch hockey.
That's it. There wasn't enough before the accident for us to actually like him.
Which was weird, because there's more in this film. There is more Alex Murphy's RoboCop than there was in the original. and yet we know less about this Alex Murphy. Again, we'll hold off comparisons for a moment, but again, we don't know very much about his character. So I don't care about anything that happens to him. I'm imagining you feel the same. Now, direct comparisons to this movie and the original.
Wait, hold on. This is one of those films that they relied too heavily on special effects.
Yes.
To the point
and not even
where,
very good special effects.
Yeah, to the point where it was a huge crutch that they could not get off of.
Yeah.
And it made it worse.
Absolutely. Now, comparing this directly to the Paul Verhoeven classic original, it's a piece of crap. It is mind-boggling how badly they dropped the ball. Now, when it was originally announced that Jose Padilla, I know I'm getting that wrong, but he is the director of Elite Squad and Elite Squad 2. I've never seen the first one, but I saw Elite Squad 2, and I actually liked it. The way he tackles Brazilian corruption in that film with this Elite Squad, it's really well done. And I saw him like, you know, he can actually pull off social commentary in a film really well. And he can craft really interesting characters. So when he was announced, I'm like, that's a good choice. Seeing this movie in practice, it felt like it felt like he wasn't a fan of the original. They just pulled some guy who could do action pretty alright. It felt like he was more of a hired gun than somebody that was passionate about this project. And I felt that the whole time, because they do a lot of the classic original stuff, like Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. In the original, he said that like 4 or 5 times, and my spine tingles to this day whenever he says it. In this, he says it once near the end, and it's like, Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. Like,
he says something similar earlier, like right as he gets introduced to the public, where it's like, you can either get shot and go to jail, or you can help me and then go to jail.
Yeah, it was
lame.
Yeah, it was really stupid. It was dumb, and the original handled social satire perfectly. It is a benchmark as far as that is concerned. Peter Weller was fantastic as Murphy. His partner was great. I always forget her name, and I feel terrible for it because she's one of my favorite characters in cinema. And then the warring aspects of OCP was done much better. Plus, in the original, they cut out his family. He is dead in the original, and his family moves on. We only see his family in flashbacks and dream sequences. In this movie, they spend way too much time on his family. I don't care. They never made me care.
Yeah.
The original, which was rated R, by the way, handled the action really well. Now, nothing in the original is particularly spectacular in the way that you might think the Raid 2 is spectacular. But the way it was handled was really good. It was super violent, but that was the point. But the action was it was visceral and was great. And the other thing is, in the original, you really get a sense that the cops are being overwhelmed by crime in Detroit.
Yes.
Every frame of that movie is the cops are on the losing end of a battle.
Yes.
In this movie, Detroit was like, that feels more like downtown Boise, Idaho than it does Detroit.
I think it's because in the original, don't they attack the police station? There's something that happens.
They never directly attack the police station, but it's the fact that
there's
your very first very first introduction to the police force, somebody's been killed, and then the first day Alex Murphy's on the job for the police for that particular section of the police force, he is killed. His partner is beaten the crap out of, and you really see how dangerous it is. Plus, we actually get to see RoboCop patrolling the streets of Detroit in the original. In this one, we see him do that for maybe a second, but you never get the actual feeling he's stopping crime, and he doesn't stop.
Also, he's driving his little motorcycle out throughout the city, and everybody's swerving, trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, in this movie, he's the worst driver ever.
He's causing traffic jams all over the place. Everybody loves him for it.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm like, can we arrest RoboCop? He's a really crappy driver. It was poorly handled, and a lot of the time, it felt like a lot of the problems with the script came down to they were changing things about the original that didn't need to be changed, or they added stuff that they thought would work, but then they're fighting against themselves in the movie. Anything with the family, anything with the OCP, anything about RoboCop, like the dopamine level thing, they created that, and then they fought against that. And it was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, there was this whole training sequence where he's like...
Oh, the training sequence was
testing it all.
Stupid.
And it looked like they were trying to make a movie so that someone could make a video game about it.
Yes.
That's literally... Because it had a kill counter in the top right-hand corner.
It felt... Yeah.
How many people you have left to kill. It's...
Yeah.
It was
and that was probably the best action sequence out of the movie because it was fun. It was actually a little bit of fun. But after that, just dead in the water as far as action is concerned.
We got a lot of it.
Yeah, and yeah, like they create this problem of, oh, he's not efficient enough, so we'll just put this thing into his brain that makes him more efficient. And then after that, that's never brought up again, and it's never brought up like his free will. It's really just poorly done. It's poorly executed.
Yeah, it was a great idea. Bring it back.
Yeah, I would think, RoboCop... normally remakes are pretty sacrilegious, but RoboCop is one of those things where I'm like, it's so timeless that you could remake it if you had the right ideas. You could remake it really well. The original is timeless. Like, you can watch it now, it's like, wow, it fits today even better. But I was more than interested in seeing a remake and going, you know what? We could try and do something different, and that could come off really well. But it just wasn't. And it felt like any time they were doing fan service, they were just pissing on our faces. Like the whole Dead or Alive, you're coming with me. I'm like, really? Really? Thanks, guys. I don't know. Just final thoughts. Disappointment.
Yeah. Wonder if we can get our money back.
I was trying to keep an open mind the whole time. I'm like, you know what? I want to like this. I went into it wanting to be the one guy that's like, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it was bad.
I heard someone that said it was totally fine. But I guess...
if you've never seen the original, it's okay. But
I don't know.
Other than that, it's bad. It's crap.
I don't think it's okay.
I don't recommend it. I recommend seeing the original, and I'll post a link where you can buy the Blu-ray of the original on Amazon. But you wouldn't recommend anybody go see this? Neither would I. Stay away from this film.
If you can get it to Netflix streaming,
maybe. Spend money on the original as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, yeah, bad movie. But this has been Midnight Reviews with Adam and Carson on this one. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. Go ahead and like and follow me on Facebook at Glasshouse Films, as well as on Twitter at Glasshouse Films. Comment and share these videos with your friends and family. They want our insight. We are geniuses when it comes to film. They want our insight, so give it to them.
Tune in next week when we watch a film.
Tune in next week when we watch a film. We don't know what it's going to be.
But we're going to see it.
Well, we're going to see it. Anyway, stay tuned, everybody.